everyone is watching the wrong war. For 46 days, every headline, every briefing, every news anchor has told you the same story. America is fighting Iran. Warships in the Persian Gulf, bombs on Iranian cities, missiles on American bases, a blockade that started 2 days ago and is now choking off Iranian ports. Iran versus America. The simple version. Here's what that story is missing. 97% of the oil Iran is selling right now, every barrel, every tanker, every transaction is going to one country. Not 40-something countries. Not 10 countries. One. That country is not the United States. That country is not Saudi Arabia, or France, or Germany, or any of the Gulf states. That country is China. And once you understand that simple fact that almost every drop of Iranian oil currently being pumped, shipped, and sold is flowing directly to Beijing, the entire shape of this war changes. What looks like a blockade of Iran is actually a blockade of China's oil supply chain. What looks like a fight over a narrow strip of water in the Persian Gulf is actually a fight over whether the American dollar or the Chinese yuan runs the global oil trade. And what looks like a conversation between Washington and Tehran is actually a message being sent quietly but unmistakably from Washington to Beijing. This video is going to explain exactly how that works, why the blockade that started on Sunday is not really about Iran, why Iran built its entire oil strategy around China years ago, and why the real confrontation that is unfolding right now while everyone's eyes are on warships in the Strait of Hormuz is between the two most powerful countries on Earth. And Iran is just the battlefield they chose. Let us start with the number, because the number is what nobody on television is explaining to you. Right now, as you are watching this, 157 million barrels of Iranian oil are sitting on ships in the ocean, not in tanks on land, on ships. Loaded, paid for, moving. This information comes from a maritime tracking firm called Windward that uses satellite data to follow every major oil tanker on the planet. Of those 157 million barrels, 97.6% have a single destination: China. The other 2.4% goes to a small handful of other buyers who still take Iranian crude despite American sanctions. But practically speaking, Iranian oil is Chinese oil. That is the business. That is the market. That is the customer. Think about what that means for a moment. Iran has been under heavy American sanctions for years. Ordinary buyers, European oil companies, Japanese refiners, Indian power plants, cannot openly purchase Iranian crude without facing American penalties. So over the past decade, Iran built an entire shadow oil economy designed around one buyer who was willing to ignore American sanctions. That buyer was China. Iran invested billions in pipelines, ports, and tanker fleets specifically to serve Chinese refineries. China invested in Iranian infrastructure in return. The two countries built a relationship that is not really about friendship. It is about oil flowing one direction and money flowing the other. And here's the detail that makes this relationship deadly to American interests. The money flowing from China to Iran is not in American dollars. It is in Chinese yuan, or sometimes in cryptocurrency, or sometimes in untraceable barter arrangements, anything except dollars processed through banks that answer to the United States government. For 50 years, the global oil trade has been conducted almost entirely in dollars. When Saudi Arabia sells oil to Japan, the transaction happens in dollars. When Nigeria sells oil to Germany, it happens in dollars. This is called the petrodollar system, and it is one of the reasons the United States has so much financial power over the rest of the world. Every country that buys oil needs dollars. Every country that needs dollars has to keep a relationship with American banks, and every American bank can be used as a tool of American foreign policy.